Hi, we're going to begin now. Hi everybody, my name is Alison Seeger and I'm one of the organizers of this rally, along with Naima and Dante and Nan, my son Julian, my daughter Willow, wherever she is, and Sequoia and Nick. And we're here in solidarity with Trayvon Martin's family and his community. And we're here also to protest the injustice that has occurred in Sanford, Florida, where the killer of Trayvon has yet to be arrested. This rally is important. We do not have to live in New York or DC or LA to protest our outrage, our fear, our sadness and anger about what has happened. We can do it right here, and we need to do it right here in our own community. We need to tell our leaders that we will not stand for injustice, and we will not for 1 minute longer stand for institutionalized racism or racism of any kind.
That's right.
We need to have our message heard loud and clear. I'm thrilled that so many people have turned out for this rally, and I am a little anxious as well, but that's okay. We have invited a few speakers to say a few words who are either leaders in our community or hold positions of authority. But we also really want to hear from all of you. So I would ask, if you want to speak, that you come round to where we're standing, and if we get a bit picky about who we choose to speak, it's only to ensure that there's a wide as possible representation of speakers. And we have a permit to be here till 7:30. So I'd like to introduce Naima.
My name is Naima Dennis, and I am a Burlington, Vermont resident by way of Brooklyn, New York. Okay, more. I can do this without the mic. I have 2 children, a 19-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. I can become very emotional about all the things that I see happening in the world today. So generally, I try to keep abreast of current events, but not try to delve too deep, because I know it will just kind of get into the heart of me. Last week, I was kind of assaulted from every angle by the Trayvon Martin story, so I had to go do research and find out more information, which subsequently led to 2 hours of crying. And this is not typical me. This is not how I am. I am not an overly emotional person, especially if it has nothing directly to do with me. I can very easily say, you know what, I'm sorry, that sucks. It's really bad, but, you know, it's not me. And it took me a long time to kind of process and find out why I felt so deeply and why it was hurting me so badly. And it's because it eroded everything that I have buried down since my son was born 7 years ago. The fear of raising a black boy in this world where just the color of his skin could make him a target for anybody, for anything. And I just really had to kind of let that out. I had to let it out. So naturally it went on Facebook. And so Allison read it, and it kind of initiated lots of different comments, and we started talking, and Allison said, we need to do something. We need to do something. And for me, it's just about trying to kind of exercise this and heal and figure out why is this continuing? Why is it 2012 and we are still having these same issues that we have been having for years and years and years? And so that's why I'm here. That's why we are all here. So, thank you.
His racially charged identity as a young black man. What Trayvon and all young black youth wear out of the house every day is a set of judgments cast upon us by the world we live in. a set of judgments which, warranted or not, affect the way in which the world reacts to us and the way in which we react to the world. Actor and musician Donald Glover says, "White kids get to wear whatever hat they want. When it comes to black kids, one size fits all." When I walk down the street with headphones on, I know people aren't going to assume I'm listening to folk music. Race amplifies the significance of the smallest decisions. When I wear these boots because it's cold outside, I do so knowing it impacts the view people have of me. A hooded sweatshirt, the length and style of my hair, the manner in which I speak, and the way I walk are punctuated by my blackness and bear added significance because of it. For white people, these things carry no racial charge, and no one will question their whiteness. Black kids, by contrast, must fit into the narrow framework that white America has constructed for us. Failure to comply is punishable by racial dissociation or criticism, or criticism for acting white. So the choice becomes whether to live in denial of your race or to live defined by its public perception. I liken it to the DirecTV commercial where a man, angry at being on hold with his cable company, goes to blow off steam playing racquetball, but gets hit in the eye. Some of you know what I'm talking about. The narrator says, "When you blow off steam, accidents happen. When accidents happen, you get an eye patch. When you get an eye patch, people think you're tough. When people think you're tough, people want to know how tough. And when people want to see how tough, you wake up in a roadside ditch." This situation is fictional and dramatized for comedy, but the significance is that something that, in this case, he was made to wear led people to presume certain things and act on their incorrect presumptions. But in reality, blackness is that permanent eye patch that doesn't just read tough, it reads threat. And all of that words associated baggage. My kid can't work in my store, must be up to no good. But threat is also associated with the coolness of blackness, the renegade, the strength of the oppressed people. So wearing threat will get you different reactions from different people, like fight or flight. I can walk down the street and people won't look me in the eye. I have neighbors who won't wave or say hi to me or even know my name. We had our electricity go out one night during the winter, and I had to weigh how suspicious I might look walking around my own house with a flashlight against our need to have heat, electricity, and warm water. That's a freedom denied. I can't be on my property without feeling like a criminal. I can't walk down the street without feeling like a predator. I can't answer a question in class without feeling like a sellout. My music, my clothes, my hair, my voice only ever exists in relation to blackness. Everything I do is categorized as black or non-black in a performance where the end game is to categorize me. I am black as I am Trayvon Martin. We wear the same black skin, the skin I share with millions of black people across the country and across the world. What we wear is a beautiful kind of danger. The kind of danger worn by those willing to live outside the framework we've been incarcerated in through the ignorance of the masses. The kind of danger worn by those who live the hyper-examined life, but live to defy the hypothesis and experiment in the new realms of the science of blackness. Under Trayvon's hoodie, he wore blackness. Blackness had as much to do with Trayvon's murder as George Zimmerman. I've worn blackness my whole life, but under that, I'm just as unique as a white person. I have my own style, voice, passions, and opinions. So I'll walk down your street after dark, and I'll wave and say hello to you and your kids, and I'll wear a hoodie if I choose to. Police and store clerks will still follow me. I'll still miss out on jobs I'm qualified for. I'll still get denied a seat by the window in a restaurant. But as much as the world wants to corner me and put a gun to my head for the fact that I wear blackness, I refuse to end up in a roadside ditch. So as long as they keep trying to put us into boxes, we'll keep proving we don't fit.
For us to share our thoughts in this way. As a father, it's difficult to look at Trayvon Martin's youthful photos and feel anything but deep anger and horror, really, at the thought of what his parents must be experiencing. It's important as a community that we try to further understand the reasons behind his death and relate them to our own circumstances here in Burlington. At this point in the investigation, it certainly appears that the killing in Florida that cut short a promising young life is another harsh reminder of the continuing presence and danger of racism in America. As a community here in Burlington that is becoming increasingly diverse, it's crucial for us to acknowledge the existence of racism and work against it in all its forms. This is hard and challenging work. It requires some of the toughest conversations in our schools, in our job, workplaces, in our homes. However, Trayvon Martin's death reminds us that we must keep having these difficult conversations or we risk more tragedies, as well as other injustices that may be less extreme in their effect, but are no more tolerable in our community. The Trayvon Martin death and the national reaction to it has occurred at a time when Burlington is actively engaged in conversations regarding diversity and equity. I am optimistic that we are a community that will succeed in moving these conversations forward and taking tangible steps to embrace diversity and minimize bias. That we will succeed in becoming a community that is strengthened by its growing diversity, not divided by it. Thank you.